girl, Global Curls, and I am here with my friend and the fabulous Latoya.
Hey. So my Instagram is @Latoya_Diana, and I'm a natural hair blogger, and I am a type 4 hair advocate.
So if you read the title, you guys know that this video is all about being a micro-influencer. Now, I'm gonna stop and say that when I thought about doing this video, I always hear the term micro-influencer. We're gonna talk actually about being a micro-influencer. There's also, technically speaking, another term that's sometimes more technically sound and appropriate, which is being a nano-influencer. And we're gonna talk about each tier and what it means and, you know, the follower count and all that good stuff. But the question I think everyone really asked us is, why did you become an influencer? Like, what made you jump into this crazy, all over the place, fun, rewarding, challenging, hard world? So,
yeah, I guess I'll start off. My influencer journey was a lot of stop and goes in the beginning. So I technically started when I was in college, so I'd say around 2013.
Okay.
But being in school, I wasn't very consistent with it and didn't really know a whole lot about like what it took to grow an audience, I guess. I really just started it because I had type 4 kinky hair and I didn't see a lot of that on YouTube, and so when I'm looking for tutorials, I didn't really see a lot of people that looked like me. Right. So I assumed that other people were having the same issue, so I was like, okay, well, since I'm going through my natural hair journey, why don't I document it and be that face and to like show people things that they can do with their type 4 hair, because a lot of like what's the word, I guess myths or whatever is like, oh, type 4 hair can't do this, can't do wash and goes, whatever. So I was like, okay, let me be that person to show people that they can do it. So that's really why I started, is to, I saw a need for something and it wasn't there, so I was like, well, why don't I just be the person that's there?
There you go.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I got into it.
That's nice. Yeah, that's not my story. That's not my story at all.
What's your story?
Not even close. I like to say it's because I saw a need, a passion, and a change, and it's like, nope. I started completely by accident, okay? I went to actually BeautyCon LA with Eden Body Works, and that was my first time at any type of BeautyCon, and I was just walking around. It was like one of the days I had off besides helping Eden Body Works, and I remember this lady came up to me. She was from some brand, and I cannot remember where she was from to this day, but she's like, oh my god, I love your vibe, I love your look, let's collaborate, what's your Instagram handle so we can connect? And I was just like, huh? I'm sorry. It's like, ma'am, I barely know how to spell the word Instagram. I don't know what you're talking about collaboration. Like, I'm just here to help out an old friend, and I'm gonna, keep it pushing. And she's like, well, you should definitely think about being an influencer. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Right. I was like, okay, whatever. But I told my friend, and I told her as a joke, and she was like, no, I really think you would be good at it. You have a great presence, good speaking when I want to. And so I literally just started out just, doing just posting about my hair. At the time, I was still transitioning with my hair. It was the last year of my undergrad, my senior year, and I just did a natural process with my sister. She asked me, so I was just showing and trying to help and encourage and tell other people about my own journey. I had followed Nia the Light, and she was a big inspiration to me, and so I was like, let me just start it, and it's grown. So yeah, they're called the Instagram influencer tiers. And normally this is pretty much accurate. Depending on who you ask, it might be slightly off by a K or two, 1,000 or two, but mostly this is how it goes. So there's nano influencers from 1K to 10K, micro influencers from 10K to 50K, mid-tier influencers from 50 to 500K, which is a huge gap, and we'll talk about that in a second. Macro influencers that are 500K to 1 million, and then your mega influencers, the people who are just out there slaying the game at 1 million Instagram followers. So that's how it goes, and it goes by followers. Some people also go by engagement rates. I know maybe you can attest to this. A lot of brands are starting to look more at the engagement rate, I think, than the follower count. So, but yeah, that's your little scale for you. So yeah, let's talk about some myths. Let's debunk some myths. I'm just gonna go off of what you said. So I think one of the biggest myths out there is that you have to be this huge social media guru, advocate, always on there. You're going to start off with a solid base. As Latoya told y'all, I could barely spell the word Instagram. Okay, that's how serious it was, and I did not know that much about social media at all. I'm a very private person, and so I just felt like social media was just an invasion of space, so I wasn't in for it at all. So not only did it take a lot in me to kind of come out my shell and just share with you guys about what's going on with my day, you know, and so on and so forth, but I really had to learn a lot of the social media tools that other people may have had because they've used it. So I think that's one of the biggest myths that I would like to debunk, is that you don't have to be a social media guru to be an influencer starting out.
Very true, very true. I think a myth that I would like to debunk is that you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to be able to start posting. All of us have this thing here called a phone. And that's literally all you need to get started. And some sunlight, and we all have that. So yeah, you don't need, I mean, yes, those things are nice, the lighting, the fancy camera, the backdrops. Once you like get into it more and you actually want to invest the dollars in it, then you can, but you definitely don't need that to start.
That is so true. You just need to preach all over it. That micro/nano influencers do not get paid.
That is, yeah.
It's a lie. 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 It's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this very briefly because I know we also have a question surrounding all this. But okay, you gotta be honest with yourself. You're a micro influencer, a nano influencer. You're not going to get paid as much as some of the bigger named influencers out there, such as Jackie or you know, others out there, because obviously they have a higher engagement rate, a higher follower count. They've been in the game longer, so they have more contacts than you, so on and so forth. But just to say that just because you're starting out doesn't mean that you're not going to get paid is a huge myth that goes around. And a reason why I think a lot of people decide not to be an influencer starting out, because they're like, well, you know, I have a full-time job, I have a family, I have, you know, bills to pay. I don't have time just to be doing this, and it's you don't get paid. Obviously, you're not going to get paid with every campaign. You're not going to get chosen for every campaign. But if you see a brand and they're willing to pay you, be thankful, be humble, but don't think that you're not able to get paid just because you have, you know, you're in that nano and micro influencer status.
For sure. I would say a myth, and this is kind of, I feel like I'm talking about myself because I have to like shake this off sometimes, but just because you're a nano or a micro influencer doesn't mean that people aren't watching you. Yeah, it can kind of feel like, you know, especially Instagram is so big, there's these other big influencers, so like, oh, no one's paying attention to my page, or no one like is watching my videos. But that's not true. I mean, even though your views might not be as big as, we keep using Jackie as an example.
Hey, Jackie,
like, hey, she's like, you know, blowing up, doing amazing things. But yeah, even though your numbers might not look like hers, you still have numbers. Right. Even if it's 5, even if it's 10, people are still watching you. So yeah, don't think that like you're doing it for nothing, I guess I would say.
No, that's true. That's true. And you also never know what type of brands are watching you too. They may actually, I think a lot of brands are starting to do now is really engage with the micro/nano influencers, because they see that we bring passion. You know, okay, they may not have to pay us as much as a mega influencer, let's keep it real. Right. But at the same time, we bring that level of passion, dedication, and commitment because we have something to prove, so to speak. So I think like you never know which brands are watching you. So just always be on your P's and Q's. And yeah, just stick true to you, because when you try to deviate from yourself and become someone else, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Okay.
Transition.
Oh, transition, right.